Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. It's funny. Ever since I've been working from home, I've been having the need to throw a video every day. Not like I want to do a video every day, I just feel like I have to do it because right now I'm kind of. It's funny, a lot of times people say, if I work from home, I would never be bored. But see, the thing is, when you work, go away from work, you're so happy to get home. And then you try to do everything you can. But what happens if you're already home? Like, for example, my bed's right behind me. I'm in bed. I get up, boom, work right here. But anyway, everything's pretty good today. A little tired. Things been going good. Everything's great. So, what I've done, I've been reading a lot of books. I've been reading a lot of comics. Instead of reading a graphic novel, I've been catching up. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of my regular comics that I haven't read yet. And I got a good 30 or so to go. So that's good because of the fact that for the next 2 months at least, the comic book industry is done, stopped, finito. No more deliveries. So there's no new comics for 2 months at least because of the coronavirus, COVID-19. So there's nothing for me to actually. That gives you time to actually read if you're into comic books or something like that, or it gives you time to read some stuff. Plus, another things like bookstores and like Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that, they're pretty much closed, so you can't go in there. So if you bought books, so if you thought ahead, you bought some books so you can read. But that's cool. I want to talk about this. This set I finally picked up. No, actually I had this for a while. It's called House of X. This is a critically acclaimed redefining of X-Men. Now, before I'll get into it, let me explain what happened. 25 years ago, 25 years ago, Marvel Comics sold the rights to the X-Men and Fantastic Four to Fox, so they can make movies. And as you notice, around 2000 is the comic book movies craze started. Of course, you saw the first three X-Men movies, which I talked about here some time ago. Boom, there you go. Then they spawned onto the Wolverine series. Then they're in a retelling of the first X-Men, another X-Men. You know, then of course you got Deadpool along that and stuff like that. So what happened is that Marvel says we want the rights back. Fox said no. And tell you the truth, Fox for like 20 some years made good money. And the problem is that a lot of people, like for example, the Fantastic Four, fans didn't really like those movies. Like the first two movies they did, I thought it was pretty cool. The last one, it was like it's cool to have a Fantastic Four movie, but it kind of sucked. I still watch it though. Matter of fact, I should watch it tomorrow. Booyah! Oh, good. That was more time than I thought. But anyway, so what happened was they said, you know what we're gonna do? Fantastic Four. We're gonna stop producing the Fantastic Four comic book. They put them on some adventure till they're done. The characters are still around, but they're not the Fantastic Four. X-Men titles. We're gonna stop producing X-Men books. Boom. Because if we're not gonna make money off of them, because the thing is, those movies don't translate to comic book sales. So, say for example, if you watch the latest X-Men movie or any other X-Men movie, does not mean you're buying the damn comic book. That's what they thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen that way. So what happens, people watching, Batman, Superman, people thought Batman comics will skyrocket, people will start buying them, and no, they're not. It's a different medium. for example, people will love watching the Batman the animated series. Right now, I'm watching Justice League again. I'm almost done with that Justice, the second season. I'm watching Justice League again after having watching it for years. But then again, that doesn't mean I'm gonna go out and buy a Justice League comic book. It just doesn't happen that way. And that's what happened. So what happened? A lot of comic book companies are struggling, and there's a lot of books that gets made but no one buys. I mean, I love the Black Panther movie, but I don't like the Black Panther comic book. Sorry. Okay. You know. But anyway, so what happened was they finally got the rights back. So they're working on bringing back the X-Men. Right now they're working on the new Deadpool movie. Basically, Ryan Reynolds is trying to get Hugh Jackman to replay Wolverine because he said he ain't doing Wolverine anymore because he want to do a classic Wolverine Deadpool movie. That's what he's trying to do. Whether it's going to happen or not, who knows? But that's what he's trying. So what happened is that this guy named Jonathan Hickman, who's just burst, he's been writing comics for years, but all of a sudden he just burst on the scenes as really, really a really good writer. And so what happened? He did a take on X-Men that was totally unique. If the X-Men would have did certain things, this is what it would be. And boom, so the thing is, there was the House of X and Powers of 10 or Powers of X, like that. Now they were supposed to be, they was made to be like 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 and it came out every week. So first week the first one of this, and the first one of that one came out. I didn't want to do that. I want to read all of this at once. I didn't want to read 1 1, then 2 2, then 3 3, 4 4, 5 5, 6 6. I didn't want to do all that way. It's one big continuous story, but I'd rather do it this way first. So tomorrow I'm going to read the Powers of 10 or Powers of X tomorrow. Now, the thing is that, looking at this, I waited till October. It started in July to October. Boom. Thing is, these are all really kick-ass covers. Like this one's number 1. Number 2 is not the best cover, but it's okay. Number 3 is kind of cool. 4 is probably one of the best covers of the set. 5 is kind of wicked because I'm a big fan of Apocalypse. And number 6. Basically, you can still pick these up. No, you can't because most stores are closed. So now the thing is, the basic storyline is there's an island called Krakoa that kind of has some kind of pheromones in the air that you breathe and you live there. It makes you kind of edgier. So, like, for example, years ago, Professor X was like Martin Luther King Jr., McNeil was like Malcolm X, and they fought against each other. Now, imagine all of them decide to come together and say, mutant kind is the best. All the mutants can come here. And the thing is that it kind of alters your brain to, you're a good guy. You're not a super good guy anymore. You're kind of like good guy-ish. So you're kind of like a good guy, but you don't mind doing somewhat evil things. And so there's a brand new take on it. It's pretty cool. Even like Apocalypse, who's the biggest one of the biggest X-Men movie enemies, Mr. Sinister, one of the biggest X-Men villains, join forces, living together in harmony. So the new X-Men comic that just came out, I haven't read that yet. I do got the first 2 issues. One, I know I got the first one, but I'm not sure I got the first 2 because there's so much coming out, and then like a whole bunch of new books coming out. So I don't know, but it was kind of neat. This run was kind of neat, and I basically read this tonight. Started at 7 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock now, so it took me 3 hours to read all these books. Plus, I was listening to a podcast which helps pass the time. So sometimes having background music could help read things, help you kick these. Of course, I'll probably read these again about 6 months from now, about 3 or 4 months from now. I'll probably read these again the way how it's supposed to be. But I just wanted to read this, and it's kind of neat. It's kind of there's a I mean, now the fun thing is there is a lot of story. He made this thing so freaking complex. It's not a simple story. It's complex upon complex upon complex. And so what happens? Here's the basic story here. Then here's some complexity built upon the basic story, which now we're going to explain it. Then along the lines, we're going to explain this part to more. So here's a story right here, and they're explaining it as they go along. And certain things they change a lot of stuff, which is kind of makes sense, which is kind of weird, and it kind of solves the problem. It kind of solves a problem, kind of solves a small problem. Now the funny thing is that there's a book called Marauders, which I talked about, a comic book that I watched that about. One person can't enter in this place. Don't know why, but maybe one day I'll figure that out. But do I like this series? The answer is yes, I liked it a lot. So tomorrow I'll be tackling the powers of 10 or powers of X. And would I suggest you buy it? If you're an X-Men fan and you like an alternative story to the X-Men, this is it. And I believe that the current X-Men storyline follows what's after this. So it's a good way to bring back the X-Men back into the fold, make them more relevant again, because the comic book was kind of tanking for a while. So I guess other than that, I'm doing fine. Can't wait for this week to be over with, because working almost 10-hour days for the last 2 weeks. I worked almost 10-hour days every day, and it's kind of different when you work from home. At least I save on laundry. At least I'm basically saving laundry. So instead of having 3.5 loads of clothes, I might have actually 2 or 1.5. Who knows? But anyway, that's my thoughts about this series. Now, if you notice, I didn't do any spoilers. I just told you the basic storyline. I didn't tell you anything that happens. So, for those of you who think that, oh, maybe I should tell you exactly what happened, I'm not going to do that. Because the story is too complex for me to explain it all. Now, if I did 6 videos explaining this, yeah. But then again, it's just kind of huge. So, hopefully, you're staying safe in your shelter in place or quarantine, however you want to call it. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're practicing good hygiene, washing your damn hands, and hopefully this weekend, if I don't, so like I said, I have by the end of this week, I'll be past the 2-week time span where I could have been exposed. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find some cleaning stuff, some bleach, some cleaning supplies, maybe some toilet paper or 2. Hopefully I can find some. Other than that, I bid you good day.